Hi everyone, and welcome to BlackHearts, Amazon, and Vagabond. Today we'll be beginning this book, Amazon and Vagabond, BlackHearts. It came in the mail a couple of days ago, and yeah, it's ready for reading today. I actually didn't know it was going to be this thick. I guess writing a book and seeing what the end product look like are two different things. But yeah, it's in hand now. So we're going to start by reading the prologue. It's actually 41 chapters long. So well, this is going to take us some time. Like I said before, I don't intend to read whole chapters. You'll have to buy the book to read the whole chapters yourself. I might just read the whole prologue, okay? Because prologue is only about a couple of pages long. It's about 4 pages long, really. So I think we might get by, but most of the chapters are much longer. I mean, chapter one itself goes on for, let's see, 17, 18, 21. Actually, not that long. Goes on for 8 pages. So now we can't read all of that. So we'll start with prologue today. Uh, Once again, the book Black Hats, Amazon and Vagabond is available on Amazon and Kindle. If you look in the description down, you'll find it there. I'm also gonna put a link down there as well for you to take you straight there to the Amazon page. And please don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you are new to the channel. Welcome. Let's get into it. So, Amazon and Vagabond. Prologue. An uneasy, pregnant darkness covered the night like a canopy spread over the lands of the Yoruba. The usual noises that shepherded the pitch darkness through its long hours rang out. It was nearly midnight, and the unyielding growing unease seemed to grip the earth. The darkness filled the earth like a bowl of thick ewedu soup, trying to blot out the light of the crescent moon, hurled through thick clouds as it tried in vain to illumine the lands below. 7 men met in a half circle around a single oil lamp which cast a fairy light on them. The 7 men were of varying ages, ranging from early 50s to late 60s, and each was dressed in the garb of their common profession. Each one was a respected leader amongst his peers, and this was the gathering of the most powerful of the peers. In this room sat the most powerful of priests and medicine men of Yoruba land, all in one room in the heart of Ibadan. The city of Ibadan lay calm and serene, its many mud brick structures casting short shadows in the pale moonlight. The ancient city was one of hot-blooded war chiefs whose skills were feared by some but respected by all. Ruled by a succession of battle-seasoned chieftains, they were perhaps matched in ferocity only by Jaye, a city ruled by similarly hardened war generals and the current home of the Are, field commander of the entire Yoruba nation. In the last couple of years, the threat of war from outside forces had faded into the background after the routing of the Fulani at Iwo. The city of Ibadan had continued to increase in size as well as in commerce, but not all who flocked to the city resorted there for such affairs. It was an eerily quiet night, the last of the 7 days dedicated to the worship of Oro. I think that's Oro. 7 days are usually set aside to worship the deity of the Yorubas, believed by some, such as the Egba and the Jebu, to be the executor of criminals too crafty for the law to catch. During the week usually set aside for the annual worship of this deity, except for a few hours during which they are permitted to procure provisions, women must keep indoors. On the seventh day, even that is not allowed, and they are shut up the entire day. The penalty exacted for any woman found outdoors, whatever her title, wealth, or personage, is certain death. On this night, the seven sat taking stock of tidings and news they had heard filter in from the corners of the land as far as the sea to the south and the Niger River northwards. Sefiu, the Ifa priest, had come from Oyo, where he lived in the service of the Alaafin, king of the Yoruba. He sat at the head of the semicircle. To his right sat Sumonu, chief of the Songo priests, whose worship extends as far as Benin to the east and Dahomey to the west. To Sefiu's left sat Ogundikpe, priest of Ogun, the Yoruba god of war. Priest of Ogun, forgive my pronunciation. Yoruba god of war and all instruments made of iron. The remaining four included Olabumi, the Alakbeni or highest ranking of the high priest of Egungun, the worship of spirits of the souls of the departed. Orisha Toki, the principal priest of Orisha Oko. Maje Kodumi, the highest ranking Oro priest resident in Ibadan, and Omiyale, head of the powerful Ogoni. Together, these men held the religious future of the people, while they had the heirs of nobles, such as the lesser territorial chiefs and kings, to the Alaafin, who ruled over the entire kingdom. Very little escaped their attention, and very little of any significance was hidden from them. The last few years had been better since the kingdom had seen greater stability under the present Alaafin, but there were still threats from the Fulani in the north, while the Dahomey flexed its muscles in the east. For now, however, there was not much of a threat. News had reached the hinterlands of the settling of white men at the coast, as well as the return of former slaves to the land of the Yorubas. Most had been set free by the British and initially relocated to Freetown, but had decided to return to the land of their birth. They brought with them their experience of the time spent amongst white men, as well as their religion, and this seemed to bother Omiyale, who voiced his opinions to the group. Sefiu settled the matter thus: Omiyale, the Fulani with the Quran could not subdue us or our gods, even though they tried with force and fire. Why do you fret over a few settlers at Abeokuta talking about the white man's God? They do not come with weapons of war. If their God is that weak, then why should we worry about him? The gathered uttered their agreement in many words, but Omiyale's frown lingered. Mark my words, he said. If we do nothing, we will rule this day. The Egba are not far from Ijebu, nor extremely far from Ibadan. The other members of the council murmured against themselves, but Sefiu silenced them with a word and then turned to Omiyale. What do the Ogoni know that is hidden from the rest of us? Omiyale cast his eye upon each member of the council, and when he was sure he had their full attention, continued, The God of this return bring this God of the white man. They say he is one that will not receive sacrifices, not even human sacrifice. This brought a murmur of disapproval from those gathered. The preparation of powerful charms and enchantment depended on the spilled blood of a living creature, and the most powerful demanded human blood be spilled. Then their God must truly be a weakling if he will not accept human sacrifice. Can it be that he has a weak stomach? Said Sefiu. The last remark brought smirks of derision from all gathered except Omiyale. The brooding man's countenance again caught Sefiu's attention. What else do the Ogoni have to say about this white man's God? Sefiu asked. I have had unusual dreams, Omiyale answered. The future shows much turmoil coming to the land from Ijebu to Abeokuta, from Ibadan to Ijayi, and even as far as Ilorin. The return of these former slaves along with their God portends great evil for the land. The gravity of his words were not lost on them. Dead silence followed for minutes as those gathered pondered the ominous words. Then Sefiu cleared his throat, causing all to fix their attention on him. "We must act now," he declared. "The words of the Ogoni will not be taken for granted. We will defeat this god before he sets foot here. All of you must return and offer sacrifices and use strong enchantments to keep this evil away. Blood must flow, for that is the only thing that will cause Ifa, Shango, Oro, Ogun, and the spirit of Egungun to arise and fight for us all. Spare no expense at your disposal." Omiyale nodded his head in agreement. No expense would be spared to defeat this evil. By his power, he would make sure the Ogoni spared no expense, no life, nothing, to ensure power stayed in their hands. So that's the end of the prologue. I think it's a bit too, now I think about it, a wee bit too long, but well, it kind of sets the tone for where this is going. Yeah, we'll do this again next week, a little bit every week, and yeah, let me know your thoughts and your comments and your impressions in the comments. Again, please don't forget to subscribe if you are coming here for the first time, and I'll put a link to the page, to the Amazon page, where you can buy the ebook or the hard copy. I'll put it down there, somewhere down there where you can find it. And yeah, I'll see you next week. Thanks for joining me. Bye.